Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Hi, I am Slidewhistle.
It is I, Immunization.
Hey, it's Aaron. I'm the fire mage extraordinaire. Punching bag for the horde.
So I've noticed whenever we do funny voices, Immune, you always do a vampire voice. Are you trying to live your Venthyr fantasy, or do you just not have any more fun voices other than a vampire?
Was vampire what you thought he was going for there?
He said, it is I, Immunization.
I think it was just the "tis I" part that makes you think of vampires. I don't know. I think I was
it
trying to do
seemed-
like a bland voice.
Wait, say it again,
It
say it again.
seemed just confidence, like, 'tis I!
"Tis I, Immunization."
You say "zation" like you're a count. Like you're the Count Chocula. Immunization.
Well, he is a count. He got to 40 the other day.
Oh, yeah, shit.
I think it's just the Z. Maybe Z's make us feel like we're vampires. I don't know.
A little vampire. Oh, oh, oh.
If you ever want to see me, just whistle. Thank you, Jonathan Lipnicki.
Thank you, Rudolph, and very scary vampire family who looked fucking terrifying. We have to give a vampire reference, Immune.
Bat.
Have you never seen the hit movie The Little Vampire? I said Little Nicky. The Little Vampire, starring Jonathan Lipnicki. Lipnicki, the little vampire. Little Lipnicki. Holy shit, we gotta do a remake, guys.
Oh, fuck. Is Stuart Little in the Adam Sandlerverse now? Because it stars Jonathan Lipnicki, a.k.a. Lil Nicky?
You know, I think we really got to stop this. At this rate, I think we are officially talking about Lil Nicky more than we've talked about Hey Arnold on this podcast, which is very offensive.
Oh, shit. That is true. Until we get that Adam Sandler plug, we gotta slow down.
Yeah, I guess, but I think we're really overlooking the fact that Lipnicki is only 2 letters away from Lil Nicky. They're almost the same thing. Coincidence? I don't know.
I think we might be onto something here.
I'm just imagining like Call of Duty Black Ops, where it's just like 2 TVs. One says has a picture of Jonathan Lipnicki, and the other has the DVD of Lil Nicky. And it's like, what do these mean, Mason? What do the numbers mean?
Oh, Lipnicki.
Okay, I gotta say, before we move on to like actual business, I'm at my brother's house today, so if you hear dogs barking in the background, that's his dogs. But also, I'm in his office, and he has the most like 3008 chair I've ever been in. I may just sit in this chair the entire weekend I'm here.
So you're dog sitting then?
Yes, well, technically house sitting because I'm in his house, and it's pet sitting because they do have one cat. But when I asked my brother, like, what should I do for the cat? He goes, I don't know. It goes around, it does its own thing. I said, that's fair.
In reality, you're chair sitting. Huh?
I'm gonna be chair stealing after this. This is a great chair.
But in addition to Aaron being in a different location, we're also recording several hours later than we normally would. So I think it's pretty much DNR after dark today.
Ooh, cue sexy music, but not sexier than our sexiest music. Maybe just like a trumpet here or there.
Now, what are we going to do to be after dark? Because we already curse a lot, and there's several episodes where we record naked. So, trying to think, how do we up the ante for this one?
I'm drawing chest hair over my chest and like having like my shirt open like disco era style, which I think is a little more sexier than being shirtless.
I haven't shaved in a while.
Oh, you know what that means, ladies. Big bush.
He's got that big face bush that you can't ignore because he's gay.
Oh, I was talking about a pew bush, but also my mom's trying to find the podcast, and I think she may have found it. So she may listen to this episode of us talking about pew bushes. So hi, Mom. You did it.
She claims she didn't do it, though, which is exactly what somebody who found it but was trying to probe for what episode she was mentioned in, which at this point is also as many as we've mentioned Lil Nicky in.
She literally asked me, what episode did you talk about me in? And I was like, oh, why? Did you find it? She goes, no. Oh, sure. Sure you didn't, Maria.
All I know is I'm keeping myself au naturel until we get that Manscaped sponsorship. You hear that, Manscaped? If you don't want things to be gross, put some money our way.
As somebody who receives a twice every 2 months, as somebody who receives an every 2 month shipment of Manscaped products, we are ripe to talk about your shit because their razors are pretty good.
You know, I was gonna make a joke about how, you know, my balls would be less ripe if I got their ball. What is it called?
Their crop preserver.
Yeah, we have it at home. We do have their crop preserver. I never use it because I'm really afraid to spray unknown products on my testes. But maybe tonight after dark,
we can get 20 more seconds of Manscaped in there before they have to pay us. So go quick.
What if I spray it on air? I can do it right now. Do a live review.
DNR After Dark.
I'm not going to do that. No, thank you.
But we didn't get any like reviews or fan mail, but a listener did actually submit her LinkedIn profile, which we jokingly asked for last episode. So I feel like we need to have a LinkedIn listener review.
LinkedIn review.
Time to link up.
So as promised, Gershom has sent us in her LinkedIn profile. She sent it to me on Discord, and she just said, LMAO, no pic, and 2 connections. So I feel like she did a pretty good job of describing it herself. As she said, she does not have a profile picture and has not posted anything. Maybe I don't see anything because I'm not a connection.
Well,
what are you waiting for?
She tried to cover by saying she has no pic. But what I can clearly see here is like an Ouroboros broker type image. I think she's just trying to cover. I think her real name is like Zell-Gar. Like, oh, I can't let him know all these spices I have.
Yeah, and then like if you see her job listing position actually is Hand of the Arbiter. So she's not really slick here.
She kind of really showed her balls on stream here.
Put those away. That's my job. Well, how many LinkedIn stars will you give it?
What's our scale that we're using here, boys?
We got the LinkedIn Classic scale of 8 stars. Out of how many stars did you give this profile?
Well, okay, I'm gonna give it 1.5 stars because it seems lightly used. I did just send her a link request, though, so she's about to have 3 connections if she accepts.
Damn, you just gave it 1.5 out of 8?
Yeah, what do you give it?
I'm going to give it an 8 out of 8.
Wow.
8 out of 8, because I like that we can actually receive the LinkedIn review, which is going to increase her rating by 6.
You know, that's really fair. I'm going to retcon that and say, I thought it was lowest score is the best.
Okay, there we go.
I'm just going to keep it real. 4 out of 8. It's not the best, but it's got room to grow.
And that has been our LinkedIn review. If you want your LinkedIn profile reviewed for whatever fucking reason, send it to us, and we'll gladly read it on air while not talking about your personal information, like we managed to avoid, which was literally half of her profile.
And you can link with me for whatever reason. I don't like LinkedIn, as I said last time, but
It's creepy.
You can link with me. I'll make sure to send you automated shitty messages every time you have a work anniversary.
I'm using tilt controls.
is that going to be your default LinkedIn response now?
Yeah, you know, I'm going to make one and just like a joke one. But all right, it's been like, 9 minutes? We should probably talk about fucking WoW at this point because we are dragging this dick across the floor. Let's start with Raid. Let's talk about how Raid went.
We didn't play around. We just fought Daddy Denathrius the whole time, and we got a lot of good practice in. That's how I like to look at it.
Yeah, our group's last poll, we got him down to, what was it, like sub 20%?
No, it was like 25, I think, though. Still pretty good. Just like the group hasn't seen it a lot.
If only our hero person didn't just fucking fall off.
Oh man, yeah, you literally. So How many, like, was it a blink off? Or was it just like you walked straight off and jumped?
It was an auto run, and I shimmered. And when I shimmered, it left me about 2 steps on the platform. And I was looking at Daddy Denathrius and getting my abilities ready. And when I looked up, Growlina had her right foot over the edge, and I said, no! And it was too late.
R.I.P.
That end fight is so crazy, though. Like, people haven't seen it. Like, it's literally a madhouse. And it's funny because me and Immune, we got AOTC with Dogs with Jobs over last weekend. And we have a strat there where what we do is we try to kill the ads before... No, we try to kill Daddy D before the third set of ads comes out, which works most of the time.
Well, we try to push him to 40 when it transitions before. He summons more ads.
But with this group, we tried it, and we did it. But the problem was we just couldn't seem to kill the ads, the last 2 ads on the platform in time after we were already in phase 3. So I don't really know what strat is best with this group, because we had people from group 2 come over because they had already cleared AOTC. They basically almost did a full clear when we are so struggling on Denathrius. Like, they killed it. But we had people come over to help us out, and they did a lot more damage, which is what we need. We need more damage, and we need another big dick healer.
Yeah, but the addition of all these people did mess with our strategy a little bit, because it made just like the amounts of damage we needed to distribute in different ways feel weird on some of the phases. But like once we got that down, like our last pull was the best. So I honestly think there's a chance that our group can get it next week if we have like the same amount of help that we had this week.
So the lockout, can that be extended infinitely, or are we going to have to carve our way back up to Father Denathrius?
So it can be extended indefinitely. I think what's going to happen, though, so like, it hasn't been talked about yet, and if it has, I haven't been there. I'm pretty sure what we're going to do on Tuesday next week is we're going to probably do a full clear just to give people some loot. And people in our guild really hate seeing the same boss, I'd say 3 weeks in a row. That seems to be like their breaking point where it's like, I hate this fucking boss. Let's do something else. So to break it up, we're probably going to start from the beginning again.
That's me. I saw so much of him, I willingly ran off the platform. I said, anything to be done.
The suicide that ended it all. But see, the thing is, once we kill him, the Great Vault just becomes so much more valuable because you have so many shots at getting 220 gear in your vault.
Yeah, because his whole loot table can be added to your slots, and I need my self-flows trinkets, that's for sure.
Some good shit in there. But even if they decide that they want to do some bosses first, me and Immune, I think we're the only ones in that group that have all the Sludgefist heads turned in, I'm pretty sure. I think, are you guys still 1 away, Aaron?
Yes, I am 1 away. So
we could be going first, because then you kill Shriekwing, you kill Sludgefist, Stone Generals, then the Denathrius. So that'd be 4 kills.
Which I feel like those are the bosses that people really need loot from still, probably. So that might be an okay option as well.
Yeah, because what happened last time was we did a poll to see, do you guys want to start fresh or do you want to go with the Denathrius? And starting fresh won, and nobody got any gear because everybody already has the gear from the first 7 dudes. So we'll see. We're close to getting it.
Yeah, as I said, I think there's a chance we can get it with this group next week. So,
and I was really worried because I was like, 9.1, it's right on the horizon, it's coming. I checked. They don't even pretend to have a date for that. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I still want it as soon as possible, but at least it's not a race yet.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a while, I think, before we actually get 9.1. Like, I don't know, like 2 months out maybe at minimum?
Yeah, I was going to say my prediction's like May. I don't really have a reason behind that, but that's what it feels like to me, or like end of April or May.
I thought I remember late April. One of those people on the mouth breather panel was like, that's when it's coming.
And then you hear Holly cackling in the background. It's like, Holly, that wasn't even funny.
They're like, these fools think they're going to get it in April. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a long one. So that's honestly fine with me. That gives me a chance to get the stupid Keystone Master. Also, I just want to say, I don't think I said this last week. I hate that people are calling Keystone Master KSM now. Knock it off.
Like, I guess it's easier to type, but if you're saying it, and I've heard people straight up call it KSM, like, over voice as well. I'm like, KSM, Keystone Master, that's only, like, you only say like 2 syllables. Like, it's not that hard.
Whenever I hear somebody say KSM, my first thought is, kill myself? Oh, no, it's KMS. And then I'm like, KSI, the annoying YouTube guy who's boxing people? No, a KSM. Oh, it takes me like 15 seconds. Stop it.
But yeah, speaking of Keystone Master, I made a little bit of progress this week on that, and I am now 3 of 8 cleared on 15 plus in time.
Oh, yeah, boy.
Damn, and 2 of those are pugs, right?
2 are with our guild, and 1 is a pug.
Oh, yeah, okay. I was there for 1 of them. I only have 1.
I have 0.
0 in general on Plaguefall.
Yeah, and I love my mythic crew. Yeah, I have a 0 on Plaguefall, and then at the same time a 14 on, I think, like Spires. So I get pulled into whatever random thing, but I'm taking it more seriously now. I need to start getting some high keys. I need to get KSM.
No.
Yeah, and so like I want to get this fucking achievement done because I need this death elemental, and I was looking I haven't looked up how to play Pharaoh Druid in like, I don't know, a month and a half because I think I know what I'm doing, but I was reading that apparently there's a better legendary for Mythic Plus that everybody uses, and I was like, huh? I thought we only had 1 legendary. What's going on here?
How long has that been the case?
I have no idea, but literally every website I find is like this one, the Order of Life and Death, is the best Mythic Plus Pharaoh PvP, the best Mythic Plus Legendary a Pharaoh could have ever. And I was like, oh, I guess I gotta make it then, because I don't have it.
I feel like it changes every week. There's always a new legendary. I think these are rumors being put out by Big Blizz. Like, people aren't using their soul ash enough. Just change the one they're supposed to use. Then they gotta burn their ash.
Swap it up on them. But I actually like this one. It just makes my dots bleed 15% faster. So I actually get to do more trash damage before things die. It's also good on Fortified Week, which is the week we're on right now. So we'll see.
Yeah, in general, this week does feel easier than last week, except, I don't know, I feel like people are sometimes bad, and myself included, dealing with Spiteful when those little things chase you, and if they get you, you're basically dead, but, like, people always, like, try to run away and then butt pull something. People are me. I'm not gonna lie, Immune has the biggest ass in the healing Mythic Plus pulling world. He will back up into a mob of like 80 things somehow and pull shit. And I don't understand how. It's like these guys aren't even from this dungeon. How'd they get into Plaguefall from Spires? I don't understand.
The fucking shitting bird pirate from Freehold somehow spewing shit at you only.
You aren't even in this expansion.
I swear, anytime I do a mythic and I pull out my mirror images, they are always like, time to go explore. Like, people have yelled at me, be like, Growlina, you pulled all these guys. I was like, it wasn't me, it was her.
There have been times when I see a patrol coming, and I'm like, oh my god, Aaron's got to move. And then I was like, oh my god, that's not Aaron. Those are Aaron's cousins standing on the back line singing songs.
Can you choose to move them, or do they just do what they want?
No, they follow you if you're running, if there's no threat. But in a dungeon, when you spawn them, they'll sit there. And so, yeah, like it's like, oh, let's try and sneak past a group. And then I'll go and they'll be like, we're going to go alert these people because we're idiots.
Mirror images, more like a bunch of fucking narcs.
Yeah, what are you, my mom? Psst.
I meant to laugh, but I just coughed. I was gonna say, you said that you pulled stuff. Oh no, Spiteful. I think Spiteful is like one of actually my favorite affixes because for the same reason that I really love the Mistcaller fight in Mist Inner Scythe, that stupid little freeze tag fox that spawns out. I always have my instant entangling roots up, and so I just go, where's it at? Click, it's rooted.
Yeah, I was just remembering that, and the 15 I ran earlier today, we didn't have Feral Druid because I feel like there are not a whole lot of Feral Druids, so it'll be nice to run some with you later.
Yeah, and then I realized not only that, but I can pick up Mass Entanglement. And it replaces my stun, which kind of sucks for some dungeons. But being able to root a bunch of the ghosts at once, that seems pretty fucking good. And how rough would you say Grievous has been this week? Grievous is the healing debuff one. I'll let you talk about that one. I don't know that.
Yeah, it's
Jedi
where everyone...
Master Kenobi.
Yeah, so Grievous is when, like, you know, sporadically a robot with a bunch of arms full of lightsabers comes out and starts to try to, like, chase after you guys, and you need to, like, make...
He starts attacking Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you guys gotta divert. He's like, please, you're getting in the way.
Hello there.
But seriously, you need to keep people healed up above 90%, or else there will be a dot on them, and that dot is actually General Grievous attacking them. But in general, I feel like Holy Priest is actually one of the best healing specs to deal with it, especially with our Legendary that we have now that they buffed. So I don't know. I didn't feel that bad.
So I also realized something I can do. If I just take Resto Affinity, I'm going to have less range for my AoE, which is kind of sucky, but whatever. I can literally help top off people, at least one other person, with a quick Swift Mend, and then they're up for you.
Because it also gives you wild growth, right?
I get wild growth, I get Swift Mend, I get Rejuve, and then I wouldn't have Typhoon to blow back the people, but it gives me the Vortex, which still I can use on the Ghostlies. So I think I actually might try that out this week and see if that helps. Because, I mean, literally, you can just tell me who needs to be healed. You're sitting next to me. It makes it easier.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we are a combo that are really good for handling that, then.
Give me the
and
respect
a combo
I
that's
need.
just good together.
Gay. I've also been in contact with the #1 Feral Druid on Proudmoore US.
Kellis?
Kalis, I think it's, or is it say it's probably Kalis. I look at the Raider IO a lot because I'm currently number 41 on Proudmoore US in the Raider IO score. The name's Wild Seed. Maybe you've heard of it, but then I saw him post in trade chat and I was like, Kalis, where do I know? I know that name from. And I was like, oh my god, that's the guy whose strat I steal for my builds. And I was like, Kalis, it's me, your #1 fan. You inspired me. And I'm kind of like his, like, you know, in Avatar, how in Korra there's that guy who freaks out. No, not in Korra. Yeah, in the Aang one.
Yes.
Yeah, who like
the
froths.
Aang one. Yes, the frothing man of Kyoshi Village.
That's what I feel like whenever I'm like, is that Kalis? I say, and he's like, it's me, everybody. And now we're whispering, and I'm trying to get advice from him. But like now we have this like thing where he's like, hey, and I'm like, it's Kalis, and everyone's like, what are you guys talking about? Who's this guy? It's kind of like the good old rage up tradition from Stormwind in our first days playing.
Aww.
Does he squat on your face and then you turn into an amber crystal?
There are the dogs. Hello, dogs.
Yep, there they are. That's Oliver. He's upset on the other side of the door.
Oh, that also reminds me, Wooly, I saw you talking to us this time in Castle Nathria. He's like, is that the podcast people? Is what he said when he saw us talking with Kalis.
He did, and he was like, I don't even remember what he said, but he did like a slight diss on me, and then whispered me later like, "Hey man, I know things were hot and heavy. I didn't mean to upset you." And I was like, "Oh no, you're good."
We just like being noticed, senpai.
Wait, what did he say to you? Did he call you an ugly motherfucker again?
I think I was like, it was something to the effect of like, oh, who chats or who talks to each other in /1? He was like, especially people, or no, I'm sorry. We were talking about podcasts. I said, who listens to podcasts? And he goes, especially ones with like your name in them. And then I didn't say anything because like we were doing stuff. So like an hour later, he was like, "Hey man, I didn't mean anything by that." I was like, "Oh no, you're fine."
Yeah. Burn. I love that. I love you guys out there killing it.
Smooches.
Oh, I just went to his Twitter. It looks like his guild got AOTC, so congrats.
Hey, fuck yeah, congrats, bitch. You beat us.
Fucking
You beat our guild.
everyone. Everyone's getting it.
Aaron's like, where's my AOTC?
Literally everyone and their brother besides our raid group in our guild.
That also, I do think we are finally on the precipice of the two groups coming to an end, because group 2 seems to be falling apart at the seams just a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that reminds me. Slide was telling me that somebody messaged Kata about the way that we're doing raiding.
Wheel, 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 wheel. This is a new segment called Officer Chat Only. Details you only get because I'm in Officer Chat of the Guild. Wheel, wheel, wheel.
Ooh, such privileged information.
So keep this to yourselves, everybody. It's our little secret. Shh.
Only told from us to you in DNR after dark.
But yeah, it seems like what's happening is, so group 2 has the raid lead in group 2. She has a bunch of friends from the Terranist server who have a really, really shitty GM who's honestly A, stalkerish, and B, very manipulative.
Is he still doing stuff over there?
So I haven't heard him doing anything since, but there was a while in BFA near the end when he was whispering people who were online saying, "I can't believe that she-devil of yours is stealing our people over to your server." And I'm like, who are you and who are you talking about? But he messaged multiple people and he was mad because like her friends are leaving that server to come to our server because they hate the guy who's in charge. And like, by these whispers sound, they sound pretty legitimized. Like, fuck that guy. But so this person who was complaining is a brother of one of these people. So honestly, he's one of the most far adjacent people you could find in this guild, right? Like no one knows who he is, or like one person. But he has some very high expectations for this guild, which we were all like, oh, he should probably knock those off right away. He whispered Kata and said, "What's the raid group's plans going forward? Are we jumping into Mythic?" And this was the 13th. So this is like maybe like 4 days after they killed Daddy D for the first time. And then literally like on raid day, 3 days later, he said, "Just a heads up. If the raid group isn't going into Mythic progression, I will no longer be attending Tuesday or Thursday."
First off, bud, you've been raiding with this group for an entire expansion. How do you not know that we raid Tuesday, Wednesday?
Maybe he's like South American. Maybe the specific time that we raid, it's like, yeah, Thursday at 1 a.m. That's when we do it, right?
But basically, Kata was like, "What?" Like she was trying to figure out what to say to him, and we're all just like, "Say fuck off! Like bye! Like get out of here!"
We don't know this man. This is some guy we tangentially know's brother.
Also, I feel like our guild is very straightforward, that we are just an AOTC guild. Occasionally, we try to just see if we can go in and mess around on, like, the first boss or two in Mythic. And even then, like, we walk in there and Nithendra, like, smacks our ass for, like an hour straight. And then we're like, okay, we're done.
I will never forget when we walked into Emerald Nightmare Mythic, because Honor said, "Guys, we can kill Nithendra. Other guilds are doing it." And we proceeded to last like 18 seconds because the first dot from Nithendra dropped us so fucking hard. But basically, I'm really mad because like none of us are in group 2, and Tyre, he took off Wednesday because he was busy doing something else. And Kata apparently gave a very rousing speech, her classic "we are not a Mythic raiding guild" speech to the group.
I don't know how often people need to be told this. We're like, how many weeks into the expansion? And we're like just getting AOTC and we've been raiding the entire time. I feel like it's very obvious we are not a Mythic progression guild.
That always makes me think, like, super epic cool dudes that we always manage to get, like, 3 or 4 every patch. Do they see the years of, like, 1 out of 12 mythics that we've achieved and be like, no, I'm the changing factor. This time's gonna be different.
I guess now it's harder because before we were under the name of Phoenix Fusion for 13 years. So you could kind of look back on the guild history and see that. But with Uno Mas, we've only been in this scale since we moved everybody over for 2 expansions now? So maybe that's
Not
why?
even 2. I mean, I think it was just like Daza. Daza onward, we've been Uno Mas.
Whew.
Yeah, it was in BFA.
That's just so funny. And then Dolly did his classic, I'm not going to raid tonight, guys, which means Dolly only has, I'm going to predict, I think 2 weeks is generous, but I'm going to give him 2 full raid weeks until we don't see him ever again until 9.1, because he's hella into Final Fantasy.
I say till he's in the land of Nysteria with his alter human.
It's me, bunny girl who defend. I honestly, I don't
people
get it.
don't even they're not the bunny girl. People are like, I play human or I play elf, which is human with like slightly pointed ear. It's I won't go too much into Final Fantasy, but like you can be like a snowman or you can be 7 creatures that look the same. It's like there's no variation in the races. Blech.
In my opinion, the coolest thing they have to offer are their mounts. They have some crazy mounts that remind me of Heroes of the Storm mounts. They're wacky as fuck. But other than that, all my internet friends, they play Final Fantasy, and some of them make fun of me for playing WoW, and I'm like, we're the blueprint. You're the copycats. Like, get out of here.
Also, speaking of Heroes of the Storm, it's like all characters are free, and I've been playing a little bit, and I'm just saying, I missed it a little bit. It's kind of fun.
What, after this, you want to play some Heroes of the Storm?
Shit, I just might.
Yeah, I've been dicking around with it too, because every hero is free apparently, and every hero has been free for the entire month, but they've made no means to fucking advertise it. I only know because I was listening to the instance, and Garrett was talking about how they're all free, and I was like, well, since when? And there's literally no advertisement anywhere about this. It's kind of dumb. But anyway, group 2 is probably going to be, we're going to be one group soon, and I am not ready for the merging of strategies, because it's going to be annoying from everybody trying to figure out what we're doing.
I'm also curious about how that means it'll shake out. Can I bring in my hunter sometimes, or what does this mean? I don't know.
You definitely could, because we're going to have a lot of healers once we remerge. If the people who always stay. This is also really good, though, because we've been talking about potentially joining Dogs with Jobs on their mythic progression on weekends. And we know good and well that Uno Mas is going to kill 1 or 2 bosses, but we literally can't do both. We have to pick one to do, right? Because the lockouts, you can't even walk into a mythic raid if you already done it before. So having a group that's 40 people trimmed down to, I don't know what, 35, 32, there'll be more people to do mythic at 20 if we're not there. You get what I'm saying? I'm saying that me and you don't have to be there, Immune. I'm saying that they have more people to pull from this time.
I don't think we'll have 30 plus people though. I think we'll within a few weeks we'll be down to 22 people total.
That's a little pessimistic. I think we're going to be higher than 22. Maybe not 35, but maybe 28, 29, 25 or 2 or 50.
25. 2 sailboats in the parking lot. 4,000 or 2 for 50.
I also feel we had to talk about this. We've been arguing with Dogs with Jobs about pizza for the past week. Aaron, you have firsthand experience on how serious we take our deep dish pizza, do you not?
Yes. Well, mostly I just remember us getting a deep dish pizza, and it wasn't the best, but it was still serviceable. And you two and Sweaty Gumbo were like, I don't understand. Well, how can someone be so rude? How can someone be so awful? And then we proceeded to do that like 4 other restaurants. I was like, I don't know. Sounds like the restaurants in Chicago are incredibly hit or miss.
The bar is extraordinarily high for deep dish pizza. But if your
we have never gone anywhere that you have enjoyed when I was in your company, so maybe I just sour the food.
No, because I feel like it's a disgrace that they're serving out-of-towners subpar deep dish pizza. They need to always be on their A game. But if you think, if you live in Chicago or in the greater area, and you think that Lou Malnati's is the best deep dish pizza, you're fucking wrong. That's right, Necro. I'm calling you out live on the podcast where you can't respond immediately, and I can beat you up right here.
We can stack the deck.
So we had this little bit of a heated feud with him, well, about this, and about how like we think that, well, Slide hates Luz, and I think that Luz is mediocre at best. But anyways, we all had to
Mediocre.
Yes, that. But then it took a drastic turn where someone else in the guild came forth and said something as offensive as basically saying that Papa John's is better than deep dish pizza in general.
No, boo.
That man is currently dead in a pool of his own blood, laying face down in the rain. He got murdered by like 18 different people.
But then I just like couldn't help but post like that one crazy interview that like the old like Papa himself, right? Like had where he's talking about.
Did you see Papa had a recent interview where he said he's actively been trying to get the N-word out of his vocabulary?
For the last 20 months? Yes, I saw that.
What does that entail?
Wait,
like he
is that
talks
real?
to people and they're... Yeah. He was talking about like, it's such a shame what I did on that call. And I just want everyone to know I've taken a lot of time during 2020 to try and get it out of his vocabulary. Try. There's still some times where he's like, damn bleeps. And it's
damn.
Come on, Martha, you can't be mad at me. That was the first time in months.
Yeah, he's talking about it as like if it was like some addiction or something. I'm like, just don't say the offensive word, dude.
Listen, the day of reckoning is coming, so be ready.
What, Papa, what does that mean?
Be ready. And the interviewer was like, so you can't tell us today what you mean by this. Be ready. And then cut.
And then he looked laughing, and he's like, "You'll see."
You laugh, but the interviewer, us, none of us are in the pizza game. None of us could do the 40 and 30 challenge like Father John himself did.
Fuck you, Papa John. Your pizza sucks.
Oh,
And Pizza Hut.
Bo's in the house.
Bo's in the house.
Okay, but maybe we should pull it back into some WoW things. Did you guys see that we can officially get the charity pets now?
Well, we can't get them yet. We can start progressing towards them. This is almost like a classic Defense of the Ancients 2 battle pass, where if you hit the stretch goal, you will receive battle pets. I threw in my $30 today, donating to Doctors Without Borders, because once they reach 500,000, I believe, then people who donated get the pets.
I think it might actually be 1 million, but yeah, I'm gonna at least throw my $1. Just kidding. I don't know. I will at least put a little bit of money in.
Yeah, because you're right. Because there's 2 pets. You get one for getting halfway there, and the other for hitting a mill. Because isn't one the fucking Burning Crusade pet that everyone's
Yes. I was about to say, do you think there's anyone who's like, we did it, gang. We hit the halfway mark for Bananas, the 4-polygon ape. I feel like everyone is rocketing past Bananas to try and get to the sloth backpack.
all those poor people who owned the collector's edition of Burning Crusade are like, come on, please don't reach it. Please don't hit it. My pet has rarity. Don't get 500k to charity.
They're actively donating to people to not donate so that they can keep their prestigious pet.
They're funneling money out of the borders. Out of the Doctors Without Borders.
They're putting them in borders.
No! I want that sloth so fucking bad, man. You know what? I'm going to donate $500,000. Can I borrow $500,000?
You think I have $500,000?
You know, we may not, but the listeners do. Everyone, we need you to put your hands and your wallets up like we're summoning the spirit bomb to crush Kid Boo. Everyone, give your money to Slide to get the... so that he, and I guess everyone else, can get the sloth.
Yes, please do not donate directly to them. Please give all your money to me, and I will... wink, wink, give it to the Without Bordered doctors. Oh, I don't get, why does this charity hate books so much? Like, why do they want the doctors to not shop at Borders? What's the big deal?
I don't know, but you gotta admit they're pretty successful. When was the last time you saw Borders, huh?
Who's the last doctor you saw walk into Borders and pick up a book? It's been a long time.
I just kind of put my head on the desk for that one. I was like, what's he going for? And as soon as it clicked, I was like, you're getting old, Aaron. You're getting old. Time's passing you by. You're not able to be the young, spry gentleman you once were.
You're on death row, bitch.
Okay, side note, Aaron's brother, I don't know if I've revealed his name yet, owns a large book called Cabin Porn, and right next to it is a book called Cabin Porn, Inside.
Is he trying to build a cabin, or is this like actual sexy images?
I don't know what Aaron's brother does. He's an interesting gentleman. Next to those two, we have books called Brew, Parks, and Homeless.
Why does this sound like the whitest bookshelf I've ever heard in my life? Cabin Porn, Brews, Homelessness.
I love my family. We're very white. And I can assure you, this is a pretty Caucasian household I'm in.
You should go through all of his underwear drawers and see what he's hiding in there.
I would advise against that, but yeah.
You know what I want to talk about?
What? Oh, Dexter's lab?
Yeah. Oh my God! Fucking yes.
Get out of my laboratory, DD. That's my Dexter's impression.
But what Dexter would make in his lab was robots, which is the faction I've been fighting for a whole week now.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Last weekend, I said, I am tired of seeing robots running around World of Warcraft. I am going to make it my job. This last week, I actively did not do certain goals because I said, I'm going to patrol around, I'm going to find bots, and I think I know all the ways to spot them now, even the smallest eccentricities, but I also think my eternal war on robots has just made me paranoid.
Now you probably can't look at a druid in travel form without being like, this is a bot.
No, okay, so this is hot tips for everyone if you want free kills, easy kills, and to do something better for World of Warcraft. Any druid is sus.
No.
A druid riding a travel form druid, that's a bot. If they go to a mining node or a flower, that's a bot. If you target them and they start mining but don't actually continue, that's 1000%. And my newest one, which really hurt me because it only makes sense, 9 times out of 10, if you're in a goblin mech and you're getting a flower, that's a robot too.
And you ain't just talking about the mech itself.
Child, it is wild. It is at my attack on robots was I'm so good at finding them. And then I misdiagnosed a robot once. It was some guy, and then he slash waved at me, and I was like, oh no, that's not a robot.
No, they're learning, they're adapting.
Could be. Exactly. Now I'm just actively going around and being a bully because I'm I'm scribbling on the walls no, he couldn't have been a human. He had to have been a robot. It's actively made me a worse person.
I'm really excited to to see the sequel to Attack on Titan, though. Attack on Robot sounds like a really good anime that I can get behind.
I was just going to say that I'm really looking forward to the sequel of Detroit Become Human. This is Azeroth Become Human.
Azeroth become deceased. Because as soon as you fly into Aspirant's Rest, a greater pyroblast is going to casually careen your way.
I've also been experiencing this a lot more, though. Like, I was in the mall, and I feel like it's really bold for you to put together bots that roam the mall in PvP, because obviously when we have against overwhelming odds, every single horde is going to get absolutely destroyed in the mall. And we haven't had it, of course, randomly since we've had it, 2 weeks ago? But I ran across like 7 or 8 bots roaming together. And I went to go kill all of them.
They're not good at fighting.
No.
Like, there have been times where, like, my skills weren't up, so I would kill the mount druid, and the other druid would start fighting me. But they do Starfall and Big Laser Beam, and that's it. And then they just sit there and die.
I've noticed sometimes that they'll do that, but then they'll also will have like a main leader who is probably a human, because he cyclones me, he roots me, he does like actual abilities on me, but they're always like sub 30k health, like 28k, 29k, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna kill you when I get out of this, and then I do. But if you see these bots, always report them, because I've said it before, I'll say it again. Blizzard acts so fast if you put botting in the description. Like, they are quick to that shit.
Which I will do now that I have 3/4 of my tour of duties complete. Because
Ooh.
I definitely was waiting and killing them over and over to get that done.
Do you guys think that if I start reporting bots and I just like put in the description botting, but then like put also, can you please tell Ian to fix the Borealis ring, please? Do you think that will get it done?
I'm not even kidding. Okay, how about this, guys? If we can literally make this a macro to copy and paste. If we all reported bots with that same description, eventually they're going to be like, okay, guys, what's going on here? All these reports say botting, but then they say, Ian, fix the Borealis ring. What are they talking about? What do they mean by this? Let's look into this.
But if we keep doing it over and over, they're going to think we're a robot that is programmed to kill robots and talk about the Borealis ring.
Here's a solution. Everybody needs to add their own custom fun emoticon afterwards. Maybe your tongue sticking out. Maybe you're winking, your eyebrows being raised. And then they'll know for sure, robots don't use emoticons. This has to be humans.
It's scientifically proven. Robots cannot read emoticons.
Or what if we just write Capspa after it to prove that we're not robots?
What if I report a robot and then I feature 4 photos that feature a motorcycle in them?
Real talk, guys, like, some of these bots must be smarter than me, because I cannot do the ones where it's like, how many of these are stop signs? Or how many of these are stoplights? I'm like, what?
Sometimes they're sneaky. Like, it's like a light that's green. And it's like, well, that's technically a stoplight. It's just telling you to go right now. Guess you're a dang toaster.
Or like it'll be like, I identified the crosswalks. And I'm like, okay, I identified the crosswalks, but in 2 of these pictures, there's the smallest, tiniest sliver of a crosswalk, but it's mostly a picture of a sidewalk. Does this count? I always say yes, but half the time it tells me I'm wrong. So are these captchas even perfect? No, I dare say they are not. Oh my god, Bubble Tiger is moving to Wyoming, Aaron.
What? Excuse me? Is I guess Bubble Lion, is she moving to making him do
Bubble
this?
Lion, friend of the pod, Bubble Tiger, who's played WoW maybe like a week. He was our roommate. His girlfriend got a job in Wyoming, and he's moving to Wyoming. He has no job lined up. He wants to take a month gap off. He is not excited about it. And the thing he's most excited about is that he's going to be 2 hours away from Denver, Colorado. What's happening?
Maybe he can pursue his career in... he can pick that up again.
That's the place to do it, probably.
He is moving a 16-hour drive away from everybody he knows because his girlfriend got a job in Wyoming. Bad idea? Honestly, probably. He's going to hate it. I'm calling it now. But maybe I'll update you guys in the future with this. Maybe we can get an interview with him about his job to Wyoming. Sorry, his move with no job.
Hey, Bubble Tiger, have you really fucked up? Yeah, dude, like, it's not great, bro.
It's so silly. But yeah, dumb. I also commented on Jonathan Lipnicki's latest Instagram post. I said, "Hey John, are you an Adam Sandler fan? I just realized your last name is only 2 letters off from Lil Nicky. So are you interested in filming a reboot? Yes or yes?" He has yet to respond.
Keep us updated, please.
Don't worry, I will.
Isn't he a little hottie now? Isn't he a little thirst trap?
He honestly looks like he's still like 17
He's
years
still
old.
a little boy.
So I don't think so, honestly.
I don't know who this is, honestly.
You don't know who Jonathan? You don't know who Jerry Maguire, the little vampire?
The older brother in Stuart Little.
Don't worry,
Really,
I'm pulling up. I'm pulling up.
We
an
ran
image.
through the
There you go.
2 to 4 things he's been in.
His face. Look, the big glasses kid. Whoa, he's got. Oh, that's weird. I don't like his muscles. He has no idea. Wow, I can't believe you don't know him and Stuart Little. When human parents adopted a mouse child over human children. So fucked up.
The kids should have tried harder.
You know what else is fucked up?
This ass.
What's up?
The fact that they added a Death Knight Runeforge to the Maldraxxus, like, Necrolord Covenant Sanctum, but nowhere else.
Yeah, no, I saw that and I was like, do they just know that like a lot of them went over there?
So I was looking into this, and like I think half of all Death Knights are currently Maldraxxus aligned, but it also makes sense from a lore perspective because the Primus, right? Everybody basically sees the open book secret that the Primus is the rune carver. The rune carver basically created Death Knights by creating the Helm of Domination and Frostmourne. So the Death Knights kind of owe their rune-powered blades to the rune carver to begin with. So basically, this just seems like another notch in the belt of the Primus is the rune carver, because the rune carver makes awesome rune weapons, and now there's one in his house of worship. But I would be kind of mad if I was a Death Knight of a different covenant, because that stinks that they get a freebie to change their enchantments. It's honestly kind of annoying getting a new weapon and having to use your Death Gate, go on your Death Gate, go back to your fucking order hall, change it, come back. It isn't that annoying, but it's enough of a nuisance to be like, shit, it's in my order hall? That's dope. Luckily, Alan is a Necrolord and doesn't have to deal with this.
So it benefits him, I guess.
It's so weird, though. Like, why now? Like, why? What took them so long to be like, oh, shit, guys, we forgot to add this into here?
I don't know. Maybe they're just like, shit, people saw right through our guys and know that he is the rune carver.
I'm sorry, I checked out for a moment because I'm watching this video of Prince hit a jump shot in the middle of a concert.
Prince, like Little Red Corvette?
Yeah, like Purple Rain Prince, just in the middle of this concert, spun a basketball on his finger and then shot it into a hoop that was nearby, and then continued with the concert.
What song was he on? That's the important part.
Do you recognize this one?
No, I can't really hear it, but I'm going to say that's Purple Rain.
It honestly sounds like just like basketball vamp. Like he looked at his band and he was like, I'm going to shoot a jumper. And they were just like, whap, whap, little battle, jump, He was like, I made it for 3.
The sign of a true band. Prince is great, but he also sucks.
Yeah.
I was looking on Reddit and I found this really innocent question that somebody posted that I was like, oh my god, little baby. And it's posted 11 hours ago. Will players make fun of my son if I buy him a store mount? I don't play World of Warcraft, but my son does. I want to gift him a store mount for his birthday, but whenever I search store mounts on YouTube, all the videos are downvoted into hell and all the comments are hate. I don't pretend to understand the culture within this game, so I ask thee, would it be lame if I gifted him a store-bought mount? Will the other players make fun of him? Oh, it's so sweet and also so sad. Fuck this player base.
So I will say this. You should buy him a store mount, because that's very nice. If I see them in their store mount, I will chastise them.
Like, publicly?
Mm-hmm.
No, like, he's going to log into his priest, and if they're part of the other faction, he will stun them using chastise.
No, I mean, like, if, like, say they're like, Jeremy, happy 15th birthday. Ah, thanks, you got me the gold and red chaos horse. And he logs into his blood elf rogue. Growlina sees him and destroys him, and then does a Fortnite dance over her body, like, great $15 mount, jackass.
As somebody who buys a lot of store mounts, I don't feel like I've ever received any store mount hate from anybody, really. There was that one guy who got mad at me for not letting him use my Brutosaur, but fuck that guy. But some of these comments are... Ginger Tiger 94 says, if you really want to give him a mount as a gift, grind a rare mount every week on his account, on multiple characters if you have to. What the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean?
His parents, like, I don't play WoW, and they're like, how about you fucking log in on his max level character and run dailies, dickweed.
That's what his real mom would do if she really cared about him.
That's why Sandra, his stepmother, is so much better. Sandra would do it.
That's so good. The comments that are downvoted are just like, I will in private, but not to his face. Like,
that's me.
Yeah, it's you. But he got negative 20 downvotes. Anyway, that's my quick sidebar. I thought it was really funny and really innocent and sweet.
Well, I got myself another sidebar as well, and so this week is also like the first week, I believe, where they kind of addressed Aaron's problem about having max souls, where like now if you have max souls, they will instead give you, how much gold is it, Aaron?
Well, max souls is 500 anima.
Oh, okay, so they give you 500 anima if you do the souls thing now.
The souls is very good. The opposite, the collecting anima, that's the boo-boo one.
Yeah, so now if you're on your weekly one, if you're maxed out on renown, it'll just give you like 1,000 gold.
Yeah, 1,000, which is a daily calling for a weekly.
I thought it was more than that. I thought it was like 1,000, like 602 or something weird. It's only 1,000?
Well, even if it is 1,602, that's like 1.5 callings for like a weekly.
Yeah, it's not the best. I honestly, I thought the anima came with it. I forgot it was the weird souls cap thing. Who's capped on souls other than Aaron? Not anymore though, right?
No, still.
Damn, what are you waiting for?
My Ember Court. That's the only thing that's interesting after this. And I'm getting there. I'm getting my anima day in and day out.
Yeah, I just think that the system is bad, and it's very unhelpful because what I really need is more anima, and what I don't need is 1.5 daily callings worth of gold. I do that anyways. Like, what?
I think it's weird that they're not flipped. I think they should be absolutely flipped because they are really, really stingy about giving out gold rewards. Because in the past, like in WoD, you got a lot of gold from your mission table, right? But I feel like now you get a fuck ton of gold from your adventure table if you do them right. Because I know you do, right, Immune?
Yeah, like, that's one thing I'll say. Like, me upgrading my table really early on has made it so that, like, all my missions, like, I probably get like 1,000 gold a day at least, and also a bunch of rare fish and sometimes ore. Like it's a lot you get.
And I guess you give that all to me, but you could just sell those fish and get more gold if you just go in the auction house.
Yeah, I could, but then I just ask you to make me food.
Yeah, that's true. I just think it's really odd to be like, oh, your souls are maxed? Here's anima. Obviously, we're not using the anima to begin with, so why give us more? I guess to buy the cosmetic stuff?
Well, and also, I guess it helps you fast track to buying something. Because, like, I appreciate them giving me a shit ton of anima, because I will use those souls to buy level 4 Ember Court eventually. So
I guess that's true.
like, okay, here's more anima, because clearly you have enough souls to save up for whatever you want. You're just trying to get the anima to buy it.
That's honestly probably what they were thinking with this whole system, I guess. But I feel like out of the three of us, we 1/3 reach that conclusion. You know what I mean? Because we're just like, well, we also need anima as well, because we're using our souls and our anima.
Yeah, I feel like if anything, both should give you anima.
That's fair.
This is a hot take by Aaron of DNR. I feel like more things should give you anima. Stop giving me 190 gear, please. Turn that into like 100 anima.
I 100% agree.
I hate to say it, because you know what, I was so incredibly harsh on it. I think we need a scrapper that turns things into anima.
Whoa! You're the reason why they stopped using the scrapper in the first place.
I wrote an entire article about how dumb it was. I believe I called it Scrap the Scrapper.
You did.
Now you're like, scrapping the scrapper, make him the anima collector undoer.
Exactly. I mean, that was my whole thing with the scrapper, was like, turn it into thing we want. Don't turn it into fish.
Damn. Well, I guess we'll fucking see. It's gonna be a while before I'm soul maxed out. Still, I need more anima. I'm starved.
Slide. The Shadowlands is in an anima drought. What do you expect?
Okay, so says the Venthyr, sitting on cages and cages and cages of anima within Daddy D's house.
That's somewhere else. Our place doesn't have any amila.
Give it back. Give back the Pamela Animason.
We have no Amala Harris.
Okay, yeah, listen.
We did it. Immune.
We maxed out our souls.
Just like you guys didn't know where the weapons of mass destruction were being hidden, you also don't know where the Amina's being hidden.
Well, I reckon it's about that time of the show where we head on into our top toot, bottom boot, or medium moot of the week. Slidewhistle wants to go first.
I got a big fat fucking dumbass bottom fucking boot.
Ooh.
Boo.
I don't know how much this is my fault versus how much of this is Blizzard's fault versus how much of this is the listener's fault for not helping me. But I got a fucking big ass fucking bottom boot with the Queen's Conservatory. That's mostly probably my fault.
Oh my
Damn
god.
you, audience, for not telling me about a thing I could have read for weeks.
As somebody who chose the Queen's Conservatory to level last, I obviously was not impressed with the level 1 building it had to offer me, nor did I care that much about the preceding levels. So why would I look into it if I didn't care? My biggest mistake. Once I learned I could get the cool frog soul shape form from it, I was like, oh man, how do I do that? How do I get the fucking soul shape? So I've watched various videos on this, and the videos literally just tell me, put a greater untamed wild spirit into the seed, and you use one of your root boosters with it. That's all they said. They did not give me step-by-step instructions. So I heard, use greater untamed wild spirits. So naturally, as somebody who follows directions to a T, I simply put those seeds into my wild seeds. And then I put in my root boosters, which increases the rarity of the rewards it can give me. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I did that. And I put the seeds in first, then I put the boosters in second, thinking that I'm going to get results. And for the past like 4 to 5 weeks, honestly, like a month and maybe a month and a half, I've been like, I keep getting novice satchels. There's like 7 different satchels. Why am I not getting any higher levels of these satchels? And I thought maybe, I was like, I must be really unlucky. So like, I'm going to do other shit because, you know, there's other more important things to do than tend to this stupid garden that you only do 3 things in a fucking like every 3 days. No. Apparently, Blizzard said at one time during a quest that I obviously just skipped through and didn't read, you have to put in the root booster catalyzers first, and you put the seeds in second. Because if you do it the incorrect way, nothing happens. You are not boosting your seed production by any means at all if the seeds go in first. You have to put in the fertilizer first and then the seed second, which makes sense, but it's not called fertilizer, it's called a catalyst.
It's also really dumb that like it lets you still put it in afterwards. I feel like if it needed to be put in first, it should just be like, it should give you like an error message and say like, sorry, you need to put this in first or else it won't do anything.
Slide is over here. If he was in the Ember Court and it's like, oh, it's got to be messy, he would throw 3 shirts on the floor in the real world. He's like, why isn't it working? Why don't they like the messy in my room?
I don't know what that means, so maybe I would.
I mean, that is what he does in our room.
Wow. Okay, listen here, bitch.
Ooh, looks like
I have
Immune's
better
getting a
things
one-way
to-
ticket to Wyoming with Bubble Tiger.
No, never mind. I take it back. I don't want to live in Wyoming. Sorry to any Wyoming listeners, I guess.
If you are a Wyoming Knight, I would love to hear from you. But yes, so I literally just learned I've been doing it completely wrong this entire time. Wasting both my wild seeds and my fucking catalyst root stuff that I used to grow them. Which is so dumb, because not only have I been wasting it, apparently, so wild seeds take 3 days to complete, right? If you put in the temporal leaves, which decreases the time by 1 day, you can only do this once. So you do it first, put the seed in. You cannot add any other root catalysts after. These effects last 12 hours. You can hover over them and see 12 hours remaining. I have been logging on every 12 hours, wasting 3 to 4 times the amount of fertilizer that I need to be, not knowing it wasn't doing anything.
So the fertilizer, does it make it happen faster? So is it 12 hours just because it makes the seed hatch in 12 hours?
I honestly do not fucking understand it. There's like, so there's 4 different fertilizers. They're called catalysts. One decreases the amount it takes a seed to hatch by a full day. The others increases the amount of resources you get out of it. And another makes it so you get rarer rewards from it. But they all have a 12-hour cooldown on them. So now I kind of understand maybe what it's for. If you put 3 of the time leaves, right, that decreases time to hatch by a day. Once you unlock more of your garden, you can actually like double up or even triple up because the nodes connect. So say that I sit down a time leaf in the middle, there's at the last level, there's 3 seeds that can be affected by it. At level 1, you only have 1 seed it's affected by. So I guess there's a strategy where you can put 3 of these fertilizers in a circle, and one thing in the middle will get boosted by these 3 plots. So you can like decrease 1 seed by 3 days, and every hour you can check it and you can pull it out. But you can only do that for 12 hours until that thing expires. It's honestly the most stupidest, the most non-explained They talk about it one time. And if you are drunk or you're high or you're playing Hearthstone Battlegrounds or Loop Hero during it, you're distracted and not reading the stupid garden quest text that means nothing because Alfur Zolgir, some god from another country, is giving you decisions to do this. It sucks. And I was only saved by it thanks to the Wowhead Queen's Conservatory guide that said in bold letters, use Catalyst first, use Seeds second. Why can't Ian say that?
I'm a little sad that you didn't just stop at the Wowhead Queens. Because I was just thinking, like, these big gay men are like, honey, what's going on with you?
Oh, bless your heart, little Slidewhistle.
The best gardeners are the Wellhead Queens. But honestly, they probably fucking are. So, but the absolute worst part is, I learned this information after I had just planted all my seeds. So I'm still waiting for these 3 days to expire before I can make any actual helpful game moves. I'm so mad.
Wow. That is truly a bottom boot.
Thanks, fans, for not... You guys have the garden. You heard me complain about it. Nobody helped. I cry every time. Aaron, what about you? What's your top two, bottom boot, medium boot?
Well, I just want to start it out by saying that the two dogs that are here in the home were having a howling fit during that. So I have let them in the room. So if you hear a dog scream suddenly, they're next to me now.
Gonna start a howl.
But my top toot of the week is finally catching up and getting some big mode achievements.
Garen's going big mode.
Big mode. I got Tour of Duty, Maldrixus, Revendreath, and Bastion. And I went and I did Torghast for the first time in like a month, and I got all my boys. I have all the little friends now.
Ooh, who's your last one you got then?
I barely remember. It
was
was
is it like the human with the sword or whatever?
It was a gargoyle guy. I got a gargoyle guy, and I got like a lady Venthyr, and the Venthyr is like, I love knives. And I'm like, none of you guys are Meatball. I miss Meatball.
Wait, you don't have Meatball?
No, I do have Meatball.
Oh, okay.
But Meatball was like one of the first ones I got when I went back and was redoing them. The last 3 or 4 are just like, you guys are vague Venthyr guys. Like, I got a Dredger who's like, my name is Dredger Dan. And I'm like, I don't care. You look exactly like Dredger Dave. No, but he has a bow. I'm a knife guy. And I'm like, do you expect me to know what these things do? I put tanks in the middle and just kind of sprinkled everyone else around.
So, if I heard that correctly, you only have Ardenweald left for Tour of Duty?
Yes, I only have Ardenweald left, but I only have about 500 honor there, so I got to start being a real bully, and people really want to work together in Ardenweald, even in war mode. I was going around one today where, like, I would sort of wiggle my tushy near some horde, like, huh? You guys want to fight them? You guys want to fight them? They're over here fighting other stuff. I think we can take them. Everyone's like, no, I'm just here to collect my berries. I'm like, come on. Let's fight them.
Let me tell you, I know all the hot spots. I've been actually killing a lot of horde recently this week in Guardian form. I literally played horde bowling pins the other day at a world quest. There were 8 low-level alt hordes, and I charged into all 8 of them as a guardian druid. I killed 5 of them, and somebody came and helped clean up the remaining 3. So if you are ever online trying to get that done, let me know. We can fucking bowl over these bitches.
Ooh, girl, you know that's all I'm about to be about for the next week. But Immune, what is your TTBBMM? Please tell me.
So I have myself a top toot this week, and in general, I'm going to sum it up as doing things on my alts in particular, Well, okay, so first off, I will say, like, the first top 2 is obviously clearing 15s on my main. That was really exciting, but we already talked about that. So I will say, on my Hunter, I also started pushing some pretty high keys. And, like, with some guildies, I was doing some, like, 11s, 12s, 13s, and I was doing comparable damage to the other people, and I was like, I think I could, like, main Hunter again. It is really interesting. I was, like, feeling really good. I know I, like, understand it fully again. It was, like, the rust is gone. I felt really useful in these dungeons, and it's just a nice feeling.
My heart said that you should follow your dreams and main Hunter if you'd like, but my patience and queue time said, I think having a healer around's pretty convenient.
At one point during the Mythic Plus, in overall damage, he beat me. And I was like, hold the fuck up. Something's not right here. And that's when I learned I was using the wrong legendary for Mythic Plus. I was like, wait, hold up. Nuh-uh.
Here I am, like 10 eye level lower than you, not using a not max legendary even.
The emphasis were pretty mean for melee. And they always, I kind of are Mythic Plus, I feel like. But still, like, I was like, not cool. Not cool.
Yeah, but like that was fun. But then I also have been trying to slowly gear up my paladin, who I want to be prot. So I've been doing some like random heroics and did some time walking, and I was starting getting the hang of like how to tank on him. It was a little rough at the start, but I was kind of getting it towards the end. I just need a little bit more gear, and then eventually I have to take him through Torghast, which I don't want to do. I'm kind of over having to run Torghast on all my ults just to get a legendary, but it is what it is, I guess.
This feels like the most well-rounded any of us have been. Like, you are literally playing all 3 specs right now. Tank, DPS. Oh, you know what you're missing? You're missing a melee deeps. That's what you need, and you have them all.
Well, the thing is, I think I could go ret too if I wanted. I just need to figure out like what's this difference in the sets need to be then. But I think I could do it. Like I that's how he started. But then I was like, you know what? I want to try tanking.
You crazy.
But then earlier today, something unprecedented happened, and I started leveling up my Horde Boomkin, and I'm talking, that's right, Comass.
Into the Shadowlands?
Yeah, baby. So I just got out of the mall, and I am leveling Comass up. Mainly because in the LFR Discord, Gershom, who we talked about earlier during the LinkedIn review, convinced me to do this so that I could run some dungeons with her and a few of the other people in that Discord. So, I was like, fuck it. I'll level up Comass because I'm already close up there.
Why weren't me and Aaron asked on Gum Gums and Iron Bane? Karen. Yeah, Karen.
So the thing is, I thought I was already previously max level 50, but I wasn't. I was like 45. So I had to spend like an hour like finishing up like the end of a chromie time. So I literally just made it most of the way through the mall, like exiting the mall. So like if you guys want to catch up and level, like come on over. It'll probably be easier for you guys.
Ooh, this sounds like Immune's Overwatch friends all over again.
Who are you people?
But yeah, that's my long-winded, like, several faceted top 2, I guess.
Good. It makes up for my really mad how dumb I am for not reading basic game mechanics. Bottom boot. Well, okay. If you guys have any comments, questions, complaints, if you want to email me about Queen's Conservatory strategies, send us an email at donotrelentpod@gmail.com or tweet at us on Twitter at donotrelentpod. I'm trying to get the handle Do Not Relent, but Twitter will not relent. What about you guys? Where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me, Alex or Immunization, on Twitter at New Era Alex, or you can follow our podcast Instagram account if that's your thing on the gram at Do Not Relent.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at The Big Cheesy on Twitter.com. And you can read our literary musings at donotrelent.livejournal.com.
Bow, 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 bow. With that, we're out of here. See you guys next week. And remember, stop being racist.
Yeah, like
stop.
legit.
Please stop.
Another down. Do not relent.
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.